Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend DG Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
Hi, this is Erica Schultz, and you are listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Hello, kids. Welcome back to another episode of X-Men Classics, now monthly.
Yes.
Whenever we feel like it, monthly.
By popular demand.
We promise you at least once a month. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, it's the
the Owl-Cutioner. Justin the Owl morphing into a brand new form.
That's right, because tonight we're going to be talking the first 3 appearances of the X-Cutioner.
And it should be noted, listeners, that I picked these issues before watching the episode of X-Men 97, which featured this character. So,
we picked these a while ago.
Yeah, it was like a couple of months ago. So when I saw him in that episode, I was like, "Oh, no way!"
I know. I saw him. I was like, "Oh man."
So funny.
All right, so should we jump into these? I guess I only have a synopsis for the last one, so
yes. And you were saying that you hadn't read this annual before. This was your first time reading this one. Nice. Yes, it was the opposite for me. I had read the annual, but I hadn't read the other 2 issues that we're covering tonight. So it was the reverse. Yeah, but yeah, I collected all of these annuals that came out that summer because each one was introducing a brand new character. And I thought that was so much fun. And I tried to get them all. And the X-Cutioner I loved right off the bat just because of his look. I thought that his appearance was so cool, the armor and all the weird weapons, and he looked like just kind of a hodgepodge character of all these different alien races. I thought his appearance was so visually striking. And I thought, this character is going to go on to do some stuff.
Yeah, I got a bunch of these annuals this year, but somehow this one snuck past me. I never saw it, so.
Nice.
Yeah.
Better late than never. Yeah, 30 years later, you finally got your chance to read it.
Exactly, because I never got this one. I have the other 2 in floppy, so yes, I read those a while ago.
Nice.
All right, so here I'll do the credits and stuff, and we can talk about this. All right, so yes, his first appearance, kids, is Uncanny X-Men Annual 17 from June 1993. The Gift Goodbye. Writer Scott Lobdell, penciler Jason Pearson, inker Mark Farmer, colors Kevin Tinsley and Erica Moran, letterer Chris Iliopoulos, and editor Bob Harris. So yeah, I mean, this penciler, this Jason Pearson, I wasn't familiar, but I like the artwork in this.
Oh yeah, I love his stuff. Yeah, he did a couple of things for Marvel and a couple of things for Image. And I don't really remember what happened to him after that. I forgot to look him up before the show, but I thought his art style was so cool.
Oh yeah. I was trying to see if
he passed away. Shoot.
Oh well,
a couple of years ago. Damn it. He did a bunch of stuff. Legion of Superheroes, Spider-Man, Batman, Deadpool.
I've probably seen his work elsewhere, but I just can't remember.
Yeah.
Oh man, this would have been a great interview, Lilith. Born in 1969.
Yeah.
So open this up. Come on, Marvel Unlimited. At the beginning we see what is it? Tower get taken out by
Tower.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember reading that for the first time and thinking, wow, that escalated quickly. All of a sudden, Tower is dead. A smoking, charred ruin of a corpse.
As
And
he's
this was a character from the beginning of X Factor, right? Like, I think
yeah, I
it
remember.
was
I think was it like on the cover of number 2 or something.
number
Yeah,
2. Yeah. He had been around for a while.
but yeah, he's like what in like this South American country, and he's drinking in this bar. He's about to rape this waitress. I mean,
Yeah.
rips her shirt
Rips
off.
her clothes off. Yeah.
So yeah, no one's crying when the executioner kills him.
But the bystanders are quick to observe that the executioner looked like he was less interested in saving the woman than he was in killing Tower.
Yes.
So that looked like that was his definite priority. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that guy definitely has a gimmick here. Oh yeah, he's yeah, because the waitress is like saying thank you. He's like, for taking another man's life, I can't accept the gratitude. I can't make a promise. I will never forsake humanity the way humanity forsook me.
Mm. Foreshadowing, folks. Foreshadowing.
You see, I only kill mutants, and then only mutants who kill first.
Yeah. And I love that panel of him stalking away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's such a pain that Jason Pearson's passed away. I would love to have chatted with him about this issue and some other stuff that he did.
Oh yeah, because I wonder if he was responsible for the look of the executioner.
Yeah, I bet. I think he kind of co-designed it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's such a shame that he's gone. Damn it.
And then we see someplace else entirely.
Yeah.
I mean, again, Jean shopping in a store called Jean's Desire.
Gene's desires. Yeah. And a bunch of Nimrod-looking sentinels all of a sudden make their appearance.
So yes, and attack her and her son Nathan.
Nathan.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, they get attacked by these Nimrod sentinels, and then
But they're saved by the timely intervention of Bishop and Shard.
Mm-hmm.
You see Shard here. Yeah.
So yeah, they're attacking the sentinels, but then yeah, Shard is down. Bishop's like well, shoots one of the sentinels, but then all of a sudden they hear a theme song.
Yes. And it's the Ice Masters X-Men team suddenly arriving on the scene.
Featuring Iceman, Polaris Havoc, Wolverine, and Professor X.
And a very bestial Wolverine, it should be noted, with drool foaming at the mouth and everything.
But young Nathan, I don't want to be just like you, Mr. Ice Master, sir.
Yeah.
I'm going to forsake my college career, blame my parents for everything bad in my life, and refuse to ever take anything serious or accept responsibility for my actions ever. Yeah, but then Bishop's freaking out because he's like, I refuse to stand here and let you make a mockery of everything I ever respected about the X-Men.
Yeah, he knows that there's something wrong here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he knows immediately that there's a problem.
Yeah, because even like he's like, why does everything seem wrong?
And Jean too has an impression that there's something off. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She's like, if life was so perfect, why does everything seem so strange?
Yeah.
Cyclops.
The only one that doesn't feel like there's something wrong is Bobby. It's quite the opposite, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, then Cyclops shows up with Scott shows up with their other child, Rachel.
Yes. Yep.
Mm.
I love that too. We got both of the kids represented here.
Oh yeah. But
And
yeah,
then we see the truth of what's happened. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's a figure in the background. Yeah, but yeah, then we see, the Jean, Bishop, and Iceman are all unconscious in this hospital around the bed of this This figure in the bed.
Who has a very creepy smile on his face.
Oh yeah, just
He looks like he's in a coma, but he's got this ear-to-ear grin that's so disturbing. And it turns out that it's none other than Jason Weingard, the mastermind.
Yep. And then we see Storm, Archangel, and Colossus talking about this whole situation, and Colossus isn't happy because his sister's is back home sick.
Yeah.
So he has kids. For those of you 90s kids, this is the gold team.
Yes. Right. Yeah.
But yeah, Archangel's getting impatient. Ward wants to go wake them up, and of course Storm's like, "Well, how are we going to do that?"
I'd forgotten that Archangel had grown out kind of a mullet at this point in time.
Oh yeah.
It's almost a mullet. Yeah, I love Jason Pearson's rendition of Storm. She looks so great in this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic artwork.
Then we kind of do the flashback to when the X-Men show up here and
how this all started.
But yeah, a letter got sent to Jean, and they're like, "Well, we don't know how he got a letter sent out." He's like, "It should be obvious he can't correspond, he's no condition to correspond with anyone."
And for new X-Men fans who might not know the past between these two, Jason Weingard is the same guy that mind-controlled Jean back in the day when she was Phoenix.
Or so he thinks he could.
Or so he thought he did. Yeah. And she became a member of the Hellfire Club briefly under his control. So they have kind of a past, these two.
Well, the two of them, yeah. But I mean, he's been bugging the X-Men almost since the beginning.
Right? Yeah.
So yeah, Jean's going in, and then Iceman's like, "You're not going to let her go in there by herself to Storm." She's like, "No, you and Bishop are going with her."
You and Bishop are going with her.
So yeah, they go in there. The door closes, and yeah, then they got hit with that psychic attack.
Almost immediately, they're taken out.
But yeah, they're on Muir Island. But yes, Storm, Colossus, and Archangel are talking again about what happens to the three of them if Mastermind dies while they're inside his head.
Yeah, basically it's brain death for them too. Yeah. A grim prospect.
But then back in the psychic illusion, Jean's having a romantic evening with Scott. I love the Phoenix coming out of the fireplace.
This whole sequence was very kind of classic Chris Claremont-esque for me. This whole, and with the two kids coming up afterwards, it's just the whole thing seemed to me like very Chris Claremont. I loved it.
You couldn't care less if I lived in England, and you grounded me in the future.
Yeah. I love that they're basically toddler versions of their adult costume selves. It's fantastic.
But they seem to kill Scott, and they're coming for Jean, and she's like, "I don't owe you anything,"
Yes, yeah.
Because she's like, Rachel, came from a Jean Grey and a future
that will never exist. Yeah. And Nathan's mother was Madeline Pryor, a clone, so it wasn't even really her. Yeah. Yeah, that's a great panel too, where she's unleashing her telekinetic fury against the two fake kids. I love that.
Against the wall, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because meanwhile she's wearing something like that lingerie or whatever she was buying before.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the kids are like, "Oh, you're not gonna. It's not very maternal to kill us." And she's like, "No." She's like, "No, you're not even alive. I've read your minds, and nothing but my own doubts and fears staring back at me. She both figments of my imagination." Yeah, she basically blows up the whole house.
Yeah. And that's when she discovers Jason Weingard.
Yeah.
The man who loved you. The man who almost destroyed you. He's such a creep.
I know. So yeah, then back on Mirror Island.
An unexpected visitor arrives.
Oh, hold on. Yeah, I forgot to mention. Yes, the Facebook ban is over. We are streaming live to Facebook at this moment
Oh, nice. We're back.
because Noel's
Yeah, there's Noel. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, this is the first episode back, Noel.
We're back. And this time it's personal.
Yep. So yeah, so that alarm goes off on Mirror Island. Yeah, the computers are scanning this guy. Armaments of widely varying classification: Shi'ar, Xenox, Sentinel, Mach 1.
Yeah, love it.
So he's got a bunch of the
All kinds of
X-Men's
stuff.
former villain weapons.
He's like a walking potpourri of of X-Men villain technology.
So yeah, Storm says, Archangel Colossus, see that our uninvited guest does not get any closer until he makes his intentions clear.
Yeah, and you would think that just the two of them, Colossus and Archangel, would be enough to stop this guy, whoever he is. But that's not the case, as we'll find out.
Yeah. So yeah, back in the I'm gonna say the dream, but the illusion. Yeah, Bishop meets up with Jean, and he basically gets her to remember everything.
Yeah, they decided to try and do something about it.
But then we see the executioner talking to himself, Carl, you're an idiot.
Yeah, it's nice that with this character we get some inner monologue for their first appearance. Usually you don't really get that with a character's first appearance, some inner monologue stuff.
Oh yeah, especially next villain. Probably they didn't drag the mystery out. But again, this is a brand new character. It's not someone we know. Yeah, he's talking about he should be in an office in old J. Edgar Hoover's building, in D. So yeah, he works for the FBI.
Yeah.
Because yeah, first he's talking to himself, then we get like his inner thoughts. Yeah, thinking his former mentor, stockpiled all these weapons relating to the X-Men.
And somehow died. His mentor died somehow.
So yeah, so then he hears, it's like,
incoming.
Oh man, oh yeah.
And that's a great panel too of Colossus slamming into the edge of that cliff.
Yeah, knocked it.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
And Archangel's like, that's how you avoid a physical confrontation? Yes, well, I did promise to be brief. But yes, the executioner says the Omnium mesh should absorb the brunt of the impact. And Archangel's like, just in case it doesn't, because he grabs him. And
big mistake.
Oh, yeah.
Executioner takes him out with an electric shock to the face from his gauntlet.
See, like even just like a few years previous to this, man, Archangel would be the one attacking first, and
that's true. And he'd be trying to take this dude's head off.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It shows how much he's changed.
But yeah, Executioner tells Colossus, "Step out of my way, and I'll spare you the pain and suffering I have inflicted upon your teammates."
Colossus says, I don't believe there's much chance of that happening. And the Executioner replies, oh, you'd be surprised.
And then Jean and Bishop have found these fake X-Men who are then again, they're turned on Iceman.
Yeah. They've got him strapped up to an X-Cross, basically. And this is kind of some gruesome stuff. We've got Jean who telekinetically rips the fake Polaris in half, and then blows the head off of the Wolverine with her telekinesis as well, very casually. I remember being really surprised by that the first time I read that. Oh wow, she just ripped Polaris in half. Okay.
I know. Well, like she said, I'm not about to argue semantics with someone's stray thought. So yeah, it was Iceman.
Yeah.
But yeah, the letter Wolverine didn't want her to read was the letter from the original letter from Jason Wingard.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Who then reveals himself masquerading as Xavier in this illusion realm.
Mm. So, but yeah, the whole illusion kind of fades. They're standing in white. I love the Iceman. Okay, I got the part that Mastermind's been mastering our minds, but he's like, I'm not going to pretend to understand what's happening.
Where are our bodies? He says.
Yeah, they kind of see a little window into the real world.
Yeah.
Oh man, and then Colossus is, I guess, is just pounding on the Executioner.
I love this part, yeah, because it shows first the first panel is the far away shot,
Mm.
and all the thoom thoom. You can tell that Colossus is just expending all of his strength trying to get through.
And I love how Colossus is like force field or battle armor, a little of both.
A little of both.
It's like, yeah, I'm a high tech pack rat.
Yeah.
The force field was factor 3 pre-budget. Factor 3, jeez.
And he's fairly strong himself because he catches Colossus's fist mid blow and then hurls him like he's a rag doll into a tree nearby.
And then Storm shows up.
Yes. And then things change for the Executioner. After he deals a devastating attack to Colossus.
Oh yeah, hits him with
Hits him with that power lance. But yeah, here comes Storm, and she says that is enough.
But yeah, because the Executioner tells her, "I'm here. He's here to kill the mutant known as Mastermind. And despite the cliche, I will kill anyone who gets in my way."
Mm-hmm.
But then we see back on the Mindscape, Mastermind's telling them, "It wasn't supposed to happen this way. I was being let go from the asylum when the doctors told him something was wrong, sort of genetic deterioration." Start reflecting on his life. Mm. So then yeah, he decided he needed to talk to no one. He's never truly. I know you know. He's like, no one has ever truly loved me. Yeah, I coerced you into loving me, but please understand, even as unreal as it was the closest I ever came to a relationship.
That's pretty sad.
I know
that you have to psionically force someone to be in a relationship with you. Yikes.
Mm-hmm. Spent my whole life taking. When I learned I was dying, I wanted desperately to give something once, a gift goodbye. I wanted to give you all a glimpse of a better world. But yeah, he says his condition, the fever, that's what's made it all run amok. But he's like, I almost didn't mean to kill. And yeah, he's pretty much dead here. Because Bishop's like, what happens if we're still here when Wingard passes on? She's like, our bodies could stay alive for years, but our minds will die when Jason does.
Total brain death.
Yeah, so she uses her powers to push the two of them back into their bodies.
Yeah.
Then back outside, the others are battling the Executioner still.
Yeah, and Storm seems to be doing. Yeah, Storm seems to be having better luck than Archangel and Colossus did.
But he says he's prepared for all eventualities. She's like, I don't doubt you did well against holographic projections or won all the simulations, but nothing you did, Executioner, could possibly have prepared you for the power of Storm.
Storm!
With lightning, yeah.
Yeah, I love that panel, too.
And then Bishop and Iceman are trying to keep Wingard alive so they can, But then she's in there prepared to die with him, and then he uses his power to throw her back into her body.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, he used the last of his dying energy to save
mm.
her. Yeah.
So yeah, she gets out before he dies. Mm. But yeah, they're hella like, you didn't tell him that was the Phoenix and not you. And she's like, no, he lost his life. I saw no reason to take his dreams. Mm. But then outside the others thing, it's like, oh, did we kill the executioner? And it was like, no, uh, Storm's kind of hinting at, oh, he must have teleported away.
Mm.
Mm. So then they're talking about doctors and stuff. But then, yeah, a cliffhanger. I guess I kind of like this when an annual goes into the book. Yeah,
Yeah, I like that too. Yeah.
Colossus got injured. So yes, it says, for his fate, check out Uncanny X-Men 301.
And I actually forgot about that issue. I didn't have enough time to read that earlier, but do you remember how they fixed Colossus after that? I don't.
I don't remember a lot, but
I figured I assumed that because they were on Muir Island that Moira McTaggart had some type of equipment on hand that could help him with his
yeah.
whatever that um whatever that Lance did to him. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to look real quick now, but mm, is it on? It said 301, but he seems fine in 301 for some reason.
Well,
Again,
maybe they just
I'm just
maybe
skimming
they
real
just
quick.
hand waved it.
Maybe I don't know. Like I said, I'm just skimming it real quick, but like he's standing there talking to his little sister, so I don't know. Oh, wait a second. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's right. Because it's like then it is because of whatever wound the executioner gave him, he can transform back into his human form.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, interesting.
So yeah, I think that's right. I almost forgot. I think that's the whole thing. Because he can't transform back.
Mhm.
Yeah, he looks fine, but he can't transform. Oh yeah. Then they had that in the annual. They had that Fitzroy backup.
Yes, there's a little backup with the great, Tom Grummett doing the artwork there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so good.
I don't know. I never liked Fitzroy.
Yeah, the character himself, I think, was overused, to be
Mhm.
honest with you. I think they used him way too much around this time period. And, yeah, I got kinda bored with the villains from the parallel future stuff.
I think they were just trying to make Cable have or Bishop have like an arch nemesis, but
Yeah, and I get that, but I didn't really care for it either.
mhm. Mm. So yeah, I mean, I like the annual. Yeah,
Nice.
I was so sad it took me so long to read it.
Better late than never, though. 30 years later, yeah.
That's true.
And yeah, I love the artwork from Jason Pearson. For me, that's kind of the standout here. I mean, I like that we had the introduction of a new villain with the Executioner. I really liked the resolution to the Mastermind story.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
thought that was handled really well. And the fact that both of these stories were dovetailed together like that, I thought for an annual too, I thought was really nice.
Oh yeah.
But for me, the standout was the artwork. I thought that it was
Uh,
fantastic, really, throughout. Yeah.
because sometimes some of the annuals are throwaways. Because like even like
Mm.
the year this came out with some of those, the new introducing all the new characters, some of them were throwaways, but not
Yeah,
this.
totally. The Namor one was a total throwaway. The Punisher one was a total throwaway.
The
There were several.
Captain America one.
Captain America one. Yeah. The boxing guy. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember how many of these characters actually like went anywhere. Anywhere. Well, I mean, of course, the Executioner did, but
Yeah. There were a couple that hung
Mm.
around.
Oh, I'm trying to remember. The Silver Surfer one might have been Genus Fell, when he was Legacy.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yeah, I think that was the most popular one out of all those.
So probably him, X-Cutioner. Yeah,
X-Cutioner, and there was in Spider-Man there was a team called the Cadre, I think, that showed up a couple of more
Oh
times.
yeah, of course there was like 3 Spider-Man annuals. So.
Right. but I remember they appeared in some other title, I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but most of them just were kind of forgotten about. Yeah. There was a cool one in one of the Spider-Man ones too, named Nocturne.
Oh
And
yeah,
it was a J.M. DeMatteis character, and she was actually a character that had been around, but they changed her into this new, she's kind of like a mutant, I think, if I remember right.
Yeah, and I know he had her come back after, at least one other time. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a story with the Puma, actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like towards the beginning of the Clone Saga. Yeah.
More vicious and brutal than ever. I think it's that one.
Pretty much.
Vicious and brutal than ever.
Yeah, but most of these characters introduced in these annuals, we didn't see very much at all, if at all. Yeah,
it's like I guess it's an event, but they didn't even like name this event. It was just like, oh yeah, you're getting a new character in every one of the annuals this year.
Yeah, and I remember right, they were all polybagged with trading cards inside.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I should see if I still have my X-Cutioner trading card somewhere.
I was gonna say I have to find it, but I know I had the Legacy one for the longest time.
Oh, you do? Nice. Yeah,
I had it. Yeah, I just gotta find it.
Yeah, I tried to keep all of them together. I had them all like, I don't know, rubber banded together or something somewhere. I'll see if I can find them.
All right, so should we move on to the second one?
Yes.
All right, so we'll get Justin's first thoughts on these since
yeah.
I'm reading these. All right, we're going to jump to Uncanny X-Men 310 from March 1994. Show me the way to go home. Once again, writer Scott Lobdell, so must be his boy X-Cutioner.
Yeah.
Penciler John Romita Jr., who some people may have heard of. The inker Dan Green, colorist Steve Buccellato, letterer Chris Iliopoulos, and editor Bob Harris. And again, no synopsis.
Well, that's so funny.
Oh, this issue contains a Marvel Vision preview for February's hottest comics.
Ooh.
All right, so yes, this is like the night of Cyclops' bachelor party. So yes. Because I think the actual wedding is like X-Men 30 or something. Yeah,
I think so. It was in X-Men, wasn't it? It wasn't in Uncanny.
Yeah, no, it was in the X-Men. Yeah, so this might have been the same month or something.
Yeah. And I missed a whole bunch of issues around this time period. I can't remember why, but there's a whole
me too.
A whole bunch that I don't have.
But yes, it's Cyclops and Banshee are like ready to like leaving the mansion for the bachelor party. Yeah, they there's an alarm, I guess, in the danger room, and they walk in on the holographic playback of X Factor 68 when Cyclops had to send his baby into the future because it's infected with the techno-organic virus.
Yeah.
If only they animated that.
I wonder what that would look like in animated form. Yeah.
They might have Bishop take the baby into the future.
You're right. Yeah.
But yeah, this one, it was just what is it? It was one of the Warriors of the Ascani. Yeah. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, because I have these X Factor issues. Yeah, because it's like either the baby stays and dies or goes into the future, and Cyclops supposedly never sees him again. So
yeah. Well, that was what he believed, that he would never see him again.
Oh yeah, well that's what he was told. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, he uses his optic glass to turn off the illusion, and then it's like, computer, who activated this program? That would be me. Yes, Cable walks in.
I love that Cable chooses the night of Cyclops' bachelor party to have this one-on-one talk with him.
I know. I love it's like, and I love that page. Where it's like there's something different about this guy. Oh yeah, he's not wearing any weapons.
Right.
Big ass weapons.
Yeah. Okay. Big shoulder pads, check. Pouches, check. Wait, no guns? Okay, that's what it. That's what's yeah.
And then
That's what it is.
Banshee wants to go after him because says, "Oh, you've corrupted my daughter."
On X-Force, yeah,
Mhm.
that's right. He's pissed about that.
But then Cyclops sends Banshee to the party.
Yeah, he
Mm,
says, "You go have fun at my bachelor party. I'm gonna stay here and have this big, long, drawn-out talk with my son."
exactly. So yes. Meanwhile, what is it? Iceman, Beast, Nightcrawler, Archangel, Bishop, and Bishop's like, what is the point of this bachelor party?
Yeah, yeah. I'm from the future, and we don't have bachelor parties in the future.
I love the
You
meta
know,
commentary when he's like, as you know, I was raised some 75 years in the future and Beast. Oh, I hadn't heard.
Yeah, yeah. You only mention it every 3 minutes.
Mm. Iceman, you don't live in the future, B. You live in the here and now.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's like, oh, why is Cyclops late? All right, so here we go. Because who's also breaking in? Well, who's the next guy to break into the mansion? The X-Cutioner.
Yeah, surprise.
Because yes, he has a new target
Yeah.
in the mansion. Well, he picks one because there's actually two targets he could be go. I'm surprised he wasn't like, oh yeah, I got to break into the mansion because I got two targets that hunt.
Right. Yeah, Sabretooth and Emma Frost.
Yeah, he could have killed
Yeah.
tried to kill two birds with one stone on this trip.
Maybe he didn't know that Sabretooth was
Maybe.
there. Because didn't they just
I think so.
incarcerate him just prior to this? Maybe. I couldn't remember, but yeah. I remember being surprised by that too when I read this earlier. I thought, ooh, he didn't know about Sabretooth, I guess.
Mhm. Oh yeah, and as they
But
mentioned,
what was the deal with Emma Frost? Why was she all laid up in the infirmary?
I think it had to do with it's like the first arc in Uncanny, like with the gold team. Like
With
they
Fitzroy
had
and
been at the Hellfire Club. They got attacked. Yeah, there was a whole Fitzroy thing, but it's like I think it's when Jean's body got or mine got thrown into the White Queen's body and stuff. Yeah, there was a whole bunch of money
oh,
going on and stuff. So
okay.
yeah, because for a
Because
while I
didn't Fitzroy mess up the Hellions?
oh yeah, that's what they said.
Yeah,
Some of her students are dead. Yeah.
yeah, he killed a bunch of them,
Mm,
and I couldn't remember if she was involved in that encounter though, but I
yeah.
guess she must have been. Okay.
Yeah, 'cause I think Jean's mind was in her body for a while, and I think her mind might
Mm.
have like been hiding out for a while in Iceman's body. Yeah, it was a little
Yeah, there was some definite mind swapping things going on.
oh yeah,
Hopping around.
they do remind us from Cable 6 through 8 that yes, Cyclops has just recently discovered that Cable was his son. Spoilers for any of you X-Men 97 people.
And if you're not watching it, damn it, you should be.
Mm, I love you. Yes, exactly. I love how he goes. I got the invitation to the wedding. So tell me, what did you have in mind? Were you expecting me to maybe carry the rings? The ring bearer.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. Yeah. Could you imagine Cable as the ring bearer?
But yeah, just basically going on about, oh, you dumped me in the future. He's like, I didn't dump you. It's
Yeah,
the hardest thing ever to do.
that's a poor choice of words, actually. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
And then back at the bachelor party, Gambit's trying to feel everyone up, saying, "So, what do you think about the professor's decision to have Sabretooth live at the mansion?"
Yeah. Not the wisest decision.
Because I don't know. I guess because Sabretooth can blow the whistle on one of Gambit's secrets.
Yeah, and I forget too, Phil, what was that about?
I
What big
believe
secret was that?
I think it's the one that they didn't even reveal. Was it like X-Men? Was it 350? Uncanny 350, I think, where I think it's something where like Gambit like showed the Marauders how to get to the Morlocks back in the mutant.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. That's when
Yikes.
Rogue was like, well, I think they found it. Was it a Magneto Arctic base or something? And she's like, yeah, we're just gonna leave you here.
Oh.
Yeah, it's either was it the Arctic or Antarctic, and she was like, yeah, we're gonna leave you here.
Oh, was it during that whole Omega Red encounter? During that whole thing?
No, it might have been after that, but yeah, like I said, I think it wasn't until like Uncanny 350 or something. Yeah,
Oh, wow. Okay.
so it's a little bit after this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on the other
I
side.
don't remember that.
It's on the other side of Onslaught. Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's why I don't remember it.
Yeah.
I have a very large gray area when it comes to Onslaught.
Yes. But yes, yeah, we see. Well, Executioner is able to fool all the electronic sensors. Sabretooth,
Yeah.
whose hands are looking very big here.
Yes.
Big as his head.
Yeah.
Can smell him.
And he just so happens to be so nice and tell Cyclops and Cable all about it.
Oh yeah, after Cyclops shows Cable the I guess the holographic log, the night Cyclops is recording what happened, and
Yeah. He's like, here, I've got receipts that I didn't just dump you in the future, Cable, all right?
yeah, where he was just freaking out, where it's like, I should have died before I gave him up,
Yeah. He did have a moment. He did have an absolute meltdown moment.
Mm-hmm.
One of these classic Scott Summers meltdowns. He did. And I would have too, man, if I was forced to throw my kid off into the future after they were infected with the techno-organic virus. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You better believe I'd have a meltdown over it.
But then back to the bachelor party. Oh, Forge is here too.
Forge, yeah.
But he makes an excuse. Like, I don't know if Cyclops asked him to make an excuse about how he's running a diagnostic on Cerebra. I love Iceman. I remember once when he didn't think anyone was looking, I saw him relax.
Yeah. It's a good one.
But so yeah, we see Executioner makes it to Emma Frost. He's about to kill her, says, "Goodbye, Miss Frost. I will pray for your soul as surely as earnestly as I will pray for my own." And that's when he gets hit with that optic blast. Cable, far be from me to tell anyone how to run the X-Men, but when bad guys start showing up in the middle of the night, carrying on like everyone's on a first name basis, I think it's time you seriously consider changing the locks on the front door. But I love it. Like these text boxes here where it says how odd it feels to be charging into battle with your son, old enough to be your father.
Old enough to be your father, yeah.
Because that's the other wrinkle. It's like, yeah, Cable's lived the life and come back. So now it's like, yeah, your son's older than you are.
Yeah, the dude's like easily in his 50s now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he's probably old enough to be your father now.
Yeah. Yep. And they have a brief battle with the Executioner.
Yep. Oh yeah, because that's how the Executioner got in, because he piggybacked on Cable's body slide.
Yeah. Very crafty. Very crafty.
Then Cable picks up a bunch of equipment and smashes Executioner.
Slams it right over his head. Yeah.
I love how Scott's like, Howard, since when are you this strong? You want the real answer or the flippant one? Real. You're in luck. It's the same answer. When I have to be, Cyclops. When I have to be.
When I have to be.
Oh, like, that'll do, pig.
Yeah.
So, yes. So Scott's like, yeah, Emma Frost, most of her injuries are psionic in nature. Psionic in nature, but the damage to her body requires constant monitoring. So they really can't move her too much. That's when the two of them just start blasting Executioner.
Yeah, they just let loose on him. And their combined assault is enough to, I guess, overload that force field that Colossus had such a hard time with in the annual.
Mm-hmm.
And that takes him out.
Man, then Cable's giving Scott a hard time about looking after Emma Frost. And he's like, well, I don't get the impression that the Executioner had stayed. If he were hurt, you'd be looking after him too. So But yes, Cable says, I imagine the kind of guy you were when I was a kid. Turns out you've been that person all along, a person I'm proud to know, and prouder still to be able to call you my father.
Aww.
He said, I never hated you. All I ever wanted to know is that you were angry half as hard as I was when we were separated at birth. I guess like any son, I wanted to think you missed me.
Aww.
But he says, yeah, I would have done anything to hold you, protect you, teach you the stuff a father's supposed to teach a son. And then Cable, for what it's worth, there was someone like that. A couple, actually, whose names I can't even remember. Although I'll admit I wished it was you. I want you to know I wasn't always alone. Foreshadowing, eh?
Yes.
Because what neither of these gentlemen know is, yes, Scott and Jean are whisked into the far future on their honeymoon. Oh, yes, they are the couple, Red and Slim, who raise him in the adventures of Cyclops and Phoenix.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's like, we could do all this male bonding all night, and I got a life to get back to, and you're late for your only bachelor. Boy, the guy from the future kind of confirming it's your only wedding. Yeah, your only bachelor.
Your only bachelor party. He's like, oh, okay. Well, I guess that answers that question.
He says, I'm body side and out, can't drop you anywhere. So yeah, Scott just teleports into his own bachelor party. But I guess mid teleport, Cable slipped the invitation they sent him into Scott's hand and says, I'll be there. All right. So what you think, Justin?
I liked this. I liked this a lot. Yeah. I knew that at some point Cable and Cyclops had this conversation. They had this heart to heart. But I just didn't know. I forgot which issue it was, and I hadn't read it, obviously. So I enjoyed that. I still think that it's amusing that it happened on the night of Scott's bachelor party, but I guess that's X-Men for you. They don't get a lot of happy moments. The traditionally happy moments don't really happen for these folks. My only complaint was that the fight with the X-Cutioner was so brief.
Oh yeah,
it was like literally like maybe 2 or 3 panels, and then it was over.
I know.
And,
well, there was a lot going on.
Yeah, there was a lot going on, and I felt like maybe if they had him come in at the end as like a cliffhanger ending of sorts, they could have had a longer fight that took place. Because especially with Cable without all of his guns too, that would have been interesting to see how he handled it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but he still had one tucked away. I guess he had it in his prison purse.
Oh,
but
you and Will aren't allowed to play anymore together.
It's in his prison purse.
Because he still had one to use against X-Cutioner in that battle. So yeah, he had one tucked away. Yeah, that was my only gripe about this issue, having read it for the first time, was that the fight was too short.
Yeah, you almost could have got 2 out of this issue. Like 2 issues.
Yeah.
Out of this.
But I really liked it. Yeah, I was only confused about all of the tangential stuff, like the things with the intrigue with Gambit. I forgot about that. I had forgotten about what happened with Emma Frost, although I kind of had a suspicion it was Fitzroy and all that stuff. Yeah, there's just a couple of other things that I had forgotten about, but that was only just because of, like I said, this is kind of a hole in my X-Men collection, I guess you could say.
Oh, yeah. All right. So are you ready to get to the last one?
Yes.
All right. So, yes, X-Men.
This one we do have a synopsis for.
That's right. X-Man number 11 from January 1996. The X-Cutioner song. Oh. Writer John Ostrander, penciler Steve Skroce, inker Bud LaRosa and Rob Hunter, colorist Mike Thomas, letterer Pat Brousseau, and editor Jay Gardner. In Washington, D.C., Carl Denty, known as the X-Cutioner, uses his access to a secret chamber filled with weapons and files once owned by federal agent Fred Duncan. Duncan's mistake of misjudging mutants led to his death, and Denty, his successor, is determined not to make the same error. He believes that mutants can become a significant threat when they go rogue. In North Carolina, Rogue is continuing her breakaway from Gambit and the X-Men. She notices a young boy, Nate Gray, flying overhead, but doesn't want any more complications. Nate crashes nearby and struggles to control his powers. Rogue approaches to help, but when Nate unintentionally blasts her with telekinesis, she realizes he's dangerous. Nate flies away but faints in midair and crashes into the sea, so Rogue decides to pull him out of the water. At the Xavier Institute, Professor Xavier unsuccessfully searches for Blacksmith, but realizes the urgent need to deal with Nate Gray, the powerful and unstable mutant he encountered earlier. Oh, did he? He contacts Moira McTaggart at Muir Island, warning her about Nate's immense power and his potential danger. Meanwhile, in North Carolina, Nate regains consciousness and Rogue introduces herself. They discuss mutants, Muir Island, and the legacy virus. Suddenly, the X-Cutioner arrives, seeking vengeance for Cody Robbins' death, accusing Rogue. Nate defends her, revealing his impressive telekinetic abilities. Nate defeats the X-Cutioner, but his power starts draining. Rogue intervenes, knocking out the X-Cutioner, who warns them of his return before teleporting away. Rogue suggests Nate seek help from the X-Men, but he refuses to go to Xavier and prefers to be on his own. Instead, Rogue calls Moira McTaggart to warn her about the potential rival of Nate Gray. So we'll have to do more X-Men because yes, the confrontation with Xavier was last issue before this, and then next issue, Excalibur guest star.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I was really excited about that mention, and I was unfamiliar with the stuff that happened with Rogue as well, with all that.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what it was, but yeah, she just I can't remember why she wanted time away, but yeah, she took some time off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah. He sees her. He's like, "Oh, I know you. You and Magneto lead the X-Men."
And you're married.
Apocalypse.
Yeah. And she's like, "No, we're not."
Yeah, because that was the fun thing about X-Men, because it's like, yeah, he comes from this other reality, and then he gets dropped in this one, and it's like, oh, well, some people can be the same, some people can be completely different.
Right. It's kind of like the Rachel Summers equation, but with a different spin on it. Yeah.
And I love the X-Cutioner. He's like, yeah, the bioscan's reading as Cable, but it's not Cable.
Yeah. Similar, but not the same. Yeah.
Actually,
I enjoyed this. I'd forgotten that John Ostrander, one of my favorite comic book writers, had a run on X-Man. He must have only been on there for a little while, though, huh?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I don't think it was that long. Yeah, no.
Yeah. I was when I was doing research for this episode, I saw that he wrote this issue, and that made me doubly excited.
Yeah, I was and then Steve Skrosh's art, like I like it. I love his art, like this, and I know he did some time on Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, he was on Spider-Man for a while, wasn't he?
Oh yeah.
For at least a couple of years or something. Yeah.
Because it's not officially a crossover, but there is an issue of Amazing he draws where Nate Gray shows up, and then there's an issue of X-Man where Spider-Man shows up.
Nice. Yeah, this was cool, and I liked the action. That we had a lot more action in this issue to make up for the lack of it in the other one. There was a proper fight here between the X-Cutioner and his foes, and I remember reading this earlier, thinking that it was cool that that Nate was able to summon enough power to shatter that staff.
Oh yeah,
that power lance. He succeeded where the others failed in the previous two issues. Yeah, that was cool.
Oh Jesus! Hello, I missed this. Hello, Russell. The X-Men.
Hey, Russell.
We'll be with you in a bit, Russell.
Yes, it'll be some time for some Energon Universe soon.
Oh yeah, and Rogue or Steve Skrosh can, of course, gives us the Rogue.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Which if you're a '90s X-Men artist, you have to be able to do that.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, so did you like this battle with X-Cutioner in this issue better
I
than the
did.
beginning? Yeah.
Yeah, very much. Yeah. I like the art too. Yeah, I was unfamiliar with his stuff outside of Spider-Man,
Hmm.
so it's nice to see.
That splash page almost looks like Nate Gray giving the old Sal Buscema. It's
Yeah. Yeah. I love that one, yeah.
oh,
Yeah,
shit.
and I also thought it was cool that the battle took place on a beach. I
Yes,
thought that's kind of random. I like that. That's nice.
can really let loose. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't really see a lot of beach battles in these X-Men comic books.
But yeah, I love how Nate crashes and passes out. The Rogue's in a bikini. He wakes up. She's like fully dressed. I was, he's a teenage boy. I was waiting for him to go, "Ah."
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. Then they just both knock him out.
Yeah. I
I
was
love.
expecting to see that helmet crack a little bit.
I know you would think.
Yeah.
Although I don't know the eye slits. I don't know if it kind of they broke whatever glass or whatever that is.
Knock those loose.
I love
It
Nate though.
definitely overpowered that force field.
Oh yeah, I love Nate. I threw some TK behind it. She's like, I thought. So. So yeah. Executioners after Rogue for Cody Robbins, the that first boy she kissed and put in a coma.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, I guess if you're somebody with the Executioner's convictions who believes that mutants are a threat to humans and wants to take out the ones that he deems as the biggest, the most dangerous threats, you'd think that he would go after like the Omega level mutants first, but I guess
Well,
he
maybe
wanted to.
he's practicing first because I mean you don't
Yeah.
start with Magneto day one.
That's right. Yeah. Or Jean Grey or Storm. Yeah.
Ew.
You want to go after somebody like Tower. Yeah,
You
I
take
get
out a
that.
you take out a dying master. Yeah, you take out Tower. You take out a dying mastermind. Maybe
Yeah.
work up to a comatose Emma Frost.
Yeah. But not Nate Gray.
Well,
Yeah.
that was just his bad luck. Nate Gray was there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although I still don't think he could take. I don't think he could have taken Rogue if she.
I don't think no, not on one-on-one. No.
But
She's
yeah,
still too powerful.
you don't start with no Magneto.
No. No.
So yeah, so he's basically Frank Castle, except he just goes after mutants.
Yeah, essentially. That's really the foundation of this character, yeah.
Because he's even like, I don't hate mutants. I just hate mutants who have killed people.
Yeah. Yeah. And he went on to appear a few. So your introduction to him was the Uncanny issue.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. He went on to appear. I was reading a few more times after this. He appeared a bunch in. I think is it Maverick maybe.
Maybe, but I do know he appears in the Gambit series, which
Gambit.
I want to get
That's
to
what
that.
it
I want to
was.
get to that whole series
Yes.
one day. Yes.
Yeah, he was in that a bunch.
Yeah, it was like 1998 or 99. Yeah, it was a Gambit series. Ooh, yeah.
Now, was it revealed that he and Gambit had a previous connection, or was it just the events of that story that?
Oh no, it wasn't the Executioner. It was Sabretooth. Gambit had the connect. Because that's why Gambit was all worried about Sabretooth being at the mansion. He was worried Sabretooth was going to blather like, "Oh, hey, guess what he did? He led the Marauders to kill the Morlocks."
Right, but in the Gambit issues, was it that the Executioner had some type of a spite against Gambit because of the previous thing?
No, I'm trying to remember. It's been a while since I read it, but like Executioner shows up. I don't think it was. I'm trying to remember. I don't know if he was even coming for Gambit. He might have been coming for somebody else, but Gambit gets in his way, and then I think he shows up a few more times just because it's just like, oh, Gambit got in my way, and just yeah. He was almost like for a few issues, almost like a supporting character.
Yeah, nice. I like that.
It's been so long since I read that. Oh yeah, that might be. I'm trying to remember. That might be more Steve Skrosh too.
Oh, on the Gambit
At least on some of them.
series?
I
Oh,
think
okay.
maybe, yeah.
Yeah, that's another one that I haven't read any of.
Oh yeah, we gotta do some of that. That is
Yeah.
very good.
We'll add that to the schedule for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's so much good stuff in that. There's even some time travel.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Hold on, I'm looking this up. Oh yeah, that's Steve Scroce. Yeah, first issue. Yeah.
Did he do like the first year or so of the title?
I'd say at
Gambit?
least the first year. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, because it went like 2 years. So yeah, I'd say at least half of it he did. Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, I love that cover. There's the
Mhm.
Executioner right there.
Yeah, that's right.
That's good stuff.
All right. So, anything else, Justin?
No, I think we did our job of introducing some new fans to
Okay.
the character that we saw in X-Men 97, showing his backgrounds, where he started in the comic books. And I enjoyed these issues. It was fun to revisit these, especially for me to read these two new ones that I hadn't read before. And I'm really glad that you got a chance to read the annual.
Oh yeah, I'm like even the two I had read, I had never read them back to back before. So yeah, that was kind of nice too.
Yeah, very cool. Kind of get to see the linear progression of the Executioner.
Mm-hmm. All right, kids. So yes, next time we're gonna start some of our summer specials because next time we're gonna do the first half of Extinction Agenda
Yeah.
from Uncanny X-Men 270 and 271, New Mutants 95 and 96, and X Factor number 60. So that's right. You're gonna get a whole lot.
Yes.
Oh, so much 90s goodness in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overflowing with 90s goodness.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So of course, yes. Then the July episode will be part 2. So
yeah,
send us your thoughts on all the executioners or the extinction agenda. All right. So yes, send us your thoughts. Email us CapesandLunatics@gmail.com or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes and Lunatics episodes, social media, merchandise. Get your brand new Capes and Lunatics merchandise.
brand new designs.
And the old
Yeah.
stuff's up there. Little Hellfire demands. You just send us money through the Cash App link for no reason.
Make it rain.
And speaking of Lilith, check out the Patreon, the April episode. We talked all a bunch of WWE, including all the controversies and lawsuits, and we talked it all. So yes, so subscribe to the Patreon, and you can find everything all in one place. That's tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network. That's tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network.
More vicious and brutal than ever.
All right. Now for this Justin the Owl, this Owl Executioner. Catch him here now monthly on X-Men Classics.
That's
You can
right.
catch him monthly on Energon Universe with me and Russell. You can catch him at least once a month on We Are the Night, the
Batman podcast.
Although in May and June he's going to be showing up a lot more. So
That's
on there,
right.
so.
You'll see me talking about some Catwoman and some Killer Moth.
That's right. And you can catch him every week on Marvel Tales with me, talking something different Marvel every time. But where else do you podcast, Justin?
You can also find me and Russell every month over at Gamma Charge, the strongest podcast there is, where we talk about the Incredible Hulk and the Sensational She-Hulk. We also have a Patreon page, so do check that out. And in our bonus episodes for the Patreon paying tier members, we are covering DC's version of the Hulk called Damage. We've been having so much fun with that. And we are joined by the High Priest of Khonshu himself, Ray, for Predator and Prey, the Yucha podcast. That's also once a month. And we are discussing the brand new Predator comics coming out each month from Marvel. And last but not least, the Lost Library of Legends is my solo show where I talk about undiscovered and forgotten comic book gems of the recent past. And the most recent episode, I'll be covering a 1994 title from Marvel called Black Wolf.
We're going back to the 90s here, bitch.
Right.
There'll be some dicks waving around in here. I don't think so. Double biscuits for me.
My favorite biscuit.
Giant sized man thing. Well, that escalated.
All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us again. Next month, part 1 of our 2-part extinction agenda. I keep saying this episode, I have to be saying executioner. Extinction agenda.
So many exits.
Yeah. Then the month after that, in August, that will be Days of Future Present. What?
Yeah.
With all your X-Men friends and the Fantastic Four.
Yes.
Yes. Every month, kids. Now you have your set agenda. Oh, whenever we feel like it. Yes. All right. I'll report back in next month.